Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are going to take a look at this week's crime news. This week, we have a startling case from Fukuoka Prefecture in Japan. Japanese man broke into 1,000 homes to relieve stress. On Wednesday, police announced the arrest of a 37-year-old man who confessed to breaking into over 1,000 homes as a way to relieve stress. The man was taken into custody on Monday for allegedly trespassing on a property in Dazaifu. According to reports, he told investigators, "Breaking into other people's homes is a hobby of mine, and I have done it more than 1,000 times." He described the adrenaline rush he gets from the possibility of being caught, saying it makes his palms sweat and helps alleviate his stress. Authorities are now investigating his past activities to verify his claims and understand the full scope of his actions. We'll keep an eye on this developing story and bring you updates as they come. Now turning to a case that highlights the severe consequences of reckless behavior on the road. Oita court sentences man to 8 years in prison for dangerous driving. On Thursday, the Oita District Court handed down an 8-year prison sentence to a 23-year-old man responsible for a fatal car crash that occurred in 2021. What makes this case particularly noteworthy is that the presiding judge upgraded the initial charge from negligent driving to dangerous driving, leading to a more severe penalty. The tragic incident took place on the night of February 9th, 2021. At the time, the defendant was just 19 years old. He was behind the wheel of his car, speeding at an alarming 194 kilometers per hour. That's over 3 times the legal speed limit of 60 kilometers per hour. As he approached an intersection, his vehicle collided with another car, making a right turn. The impact was devastating, resulting in the death of 50-year-old Ken Koyanagi, a company employee. Initially, authorities filed the case as negligent driving resulting in death. However, public outcry, fueled by a petition from the victim's family, pushed prosecutors to pursue a charge of dangerous driving, which carries stiffer penalties. Prosecutors described the defendant's speed as extremely reckless and argued that such excessive speed greatly increased the risk of losing control of the vehicle. They sought a 12-year prison sentence, emphasizing that the defendant's motivation to experience the thrill of the car's acceleration was selfish and egocentric. The defense team countered by stating that the defendant had been driving in a straight line and that the incident didn't meet the legal definition of reckless driving resulting in death. They argued that there was no intent to cause harm and that the charge should remain as negligent driving. In the end, the court sided with the prosecution, recognizing the severity of the defendant's actions. In his final statement, the defendant expressed deep remorse, saying, "I am filled with regret. I am truly sorry." Now let's shift focus to a high-profile fraud case that even inspired a Netflix hit. Real-life Tokyo swindlers ordered to pay 1 billion yen in damages. Let's look at the real-life case that inspired the Netflix hit Tokyo Swindlers. On Wednesday, the Tokyo District Court ordered 5 individuals to pay 1 billion yen in damages to the construction company Sekisui House. These individuals were part of a fraud scheme that deceived the company out of a staggering 5.5 billion yen through a fraudulent land deal. Among those ordered to pay is the group's ringleader, 71-year-old Mike Uchida, who is already serving a 12-year prison sentence following his 2020 conviction for fraud in related criminal proceedings. The court's recent decision requires the 5 defendants to collectively pay the 1 billion yen, which is only a portion of the total amount they swindled from Sekisui House. We will keep you updated on this case. We will turn to the case of an 88-year-old man who received an official apology after decades on death row. Shizuoka prosecutor apologizes to Hakamata following his acquittal. On Wednesday, the head of the Shizuoka District Public Prosecutor's Office, Hideo Yamada, personally apologized to Iwao Hakamata, an 88-year-old man who was recently acquitted after spending decades on death row. He was recognized by Guinness World Records as the longest-serving death row inmate. Hakamata was originally convicted in 1966 for the murder of 4 people, a conviction that has now been overturned after a retrial revealed significant flaws in the original case. During the visit to Hakamata's home in Hamamatsu, Yamada expressed deep regret, saying, "We are very sorry that your legal status had been unstable for a considerable period of time, and that you spent your days in unspeakable distress." He assured Hakamata that since the prosecution has accepted the acquittal and decided not to appeal, they no longer regard him as a criminal. Hakamata's 91-year-old sister, Hideko, responded with a sense of relief and closure, stating, "We are very happy that his innocence has been confirmed." In a related gesture, Takayoshi Tsuda, the chief of the Shizuoka Prefectural Police, also met with Hakamata last month to offer an apology on behalf of the police force. For more information, please check out our video on this case. Our last case touches on complex issues of medical ethics and the law. Osaka court upholds 18-year sentence for murder of ALS patient. On Monday, the Osaka High Court upheld an earlier ruling sentencing Dr. Yoshikazu Okubo, a 46-year-old physician, to 18 years in prison for the murder of an ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, patient in 2019. The court dismissed the defense's appeal for acquittal, reinforcing the decision made by the Kyoto District Court. The case revolves around a 51-year-old woman suffering from ALS, a debilitating neurological disease. In November 2019, Dr. Okubo, along with former Dr. Naoki Yamamoto, age 47, administered a lethal drug to the patient at her home in Kyoto, resulting in her death. This was done at the request of the patient, who was seeking what she described as a peaceful death. During the trial, the defense argued that holding Dr. Okubo criminally responsible violated the constitutional right to pursue happiness, suggesting that he was helping the patient fulfill her wish. However, the presiding judge dismissed this argument, noting that there was no evidence Dr. Okubo had ever examined the patient. The judge stated, "It cannot be considered a sincere act, and there is no room to recognize it as socially appropriate." Adding another layer to this complex case, it's been revealed that Dr. Okubo was involved in a separate incident in March 2011, where he was involved in the death of Naoki Yamamoto's father, who was 77 at the time. Dr. Okubo was also found guilty of violating medical laws by issuing a medical certificate without conducting a proper diagnosis. This judgment has been finalized as well. This case raises profound questions about the ethics of euthanasia, patient autonomy, and the responsibilities of medical professionals. It highlights the legal complexities that arise when doctors become involved in end-of-life decisions, especially in jurisdictions where assisted dying is illegal. Thank you for joining us in this week's Crime News Recap. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on these and other important stories. Stay safe and see you next time.